thank you. Or is Jackie Gallagher here? Sir, did you want to address the commission? Right at the microphone. Oh. I think I can do it. Not for a hearing, though, but just for these public comments. I guess we could swing it over that way. Should I do that? We'll wait till your presentation is ready as well, and then you could state your name for the record. That would be great.
My name is Salvatore B. And basically I'm here today to talk about the deliberate misrepresentations and Coastal Act violations at the Mission Bay Hyatt and the closing of Mission Bay Sportfishing. Next slide, please. This is our situation. We spent over $500,000 in July of 2008 to purchase a 65-foot Dominator Sportfisher. At that time, it was docked at Seaforth, and we were asked to come over to the Hyatt, and basically, but you're given a contract for 5 years in order to move there. And less than 3 months later, they decided that they were no longer wanted to do sports fishing, and they tried to evict us. Next slide, please. This is the letter that they sent to evict us. Just a couple words saying they no longer needed our services. Next slide, please. The city attorney of San Diego, or at least somebody, deputy city attorney in his office, came to the conclusion that closing the sports fishing was not a violation of the Coastal Act. But the way that they came to that conclusion was actually erroneous. If you look, next slide, please. This is how they came to that conclusion. They used a staff report from Seaforth that basically, and then changed the wording of it to make it suit their needs. If you look at the top part where it says the opinion, it says that commission staff stated that in its analysis of the project under the Coastal Act's recreational boating provision through section 30224, that the marina provides boat slips rented to the general public and overnight guest slips, as well as recreational activities to the general public, including full and half-day sports fishing excursions. Based on this analysis, it appears the commission considers both rented boat slips and sports fishing to be recreational boating. However, what the commission really said in that report was, the subject leasehold also provides recreational boating opportunities to the general public in the form of boat rentals, including small boat sailboats, fishing skiffs, small power boats, kayaks, personal watercrafts, etc., as well as full and half-day sports fishing excursions. Basically, whoever did from the city attorney's office just basically switched the wording around to make it suit their needs. Next slide, please. In the meantime, before they actually evicted us, they built this illegal dock, which later they got approval for from the city. Why there's bicycles on a dock, I have no idea. Next slide, please. These are actually some notes from a staff, from Coastal Commission staff when they met with the Hyatt. And in these notes, they said that the business was down. That's one of the reasons why they were getting rid of the sports fishing. They wanted to switch it over to basically as slip rentals for other boats. They wanted to combine their use permit. They wanted to get a permit to get rid of the sports fishing and combine that with the legal dock permit that they were applying for. Next slide. They also said that their lease from the city allowed them to do this, but this is from the actual city lease, and it does not allow them to do that. It also says that those are the sole permitted uses, and they must actually provide those uses. Next slide, please. This is an analysis that I did during that time, but it shows that the business was not down. The real reason why they weren't making any money is because they totally mismanaged the landing. And this clearly shows that there's comparable number of people on there. Can I continue?
Okay, no, you have to conclude your comments. You can give you another sentence just to wrap it up.
Okay. Basically, they told the Coastal Commission that they were going to continue the sports fishing operation. That it's in the permit that they received, and they have not continued the sports fishing operation. Right. It's still closed, and we're still running, sitting there without it landing.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is Jackie Gallagher here? Commissioner Sanchez has a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sports fishing is a very important coastal recreational activity. I was wondering, I know we cannot discuss this because it is an item off agenda, but I would like staff to let me know what are his remedies in order to correct this, because obviously he was City of San Diego has given him incorrect information.
Yes, Commissioner Sanchez. I know that we do have a history with this site, and I can look into just what the status of it is. Okay.
Thank you. I
And we will do
appreciate that. If you could let me know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Okay. Commissioner Kruger?
Yeah, I'd like to add to what Commissioner Sanchez said. This gentleman there's been a history to this, and he's been trying to attempt what he considers has gone wrong here, and whatever we can do to look into it, like you said, would be greatly appreciated at this point, because there's been some, like you said, some history to this.
Okay. Next speaker is John Davis. Oops, sorry.
Honorable Chair Neely, distinguished commissioners. I knew you were going to do that somehow. It's the best speech you ever gave to us, John.
There you go. You got all the good stuff, right? Well, let me begin by saying, and I'm just starting my testimony about 7 minutes in after much laughter, that the threat of death and destruction from tsunami to the people of California is no laughing matter. It should never be diminished by any commissioner. The reason I'm speaking to you is to file a formal complaint to the Coastal Commission. I would like to ask the Coastal Commission to ask yourselves, if our executive director reports an entity is in violation of the Coastal Act repeatedly, should this Coastal Commission then reward the same entity by giving them future coastal development permits without having cured the initial problem identified by your executive director? And should this commission ignore its responsibility to enforce the Coastal Act? I'm now going to read the document you should all have before you, if I have time. The County of Los Angeles is illegally exerting jurisdiction over the California coastal zone in that the joint powers agreement between the county and city is expired. See attachment. It's not fully there, but the relevant portions are. The county is now extorting money from the public at the Washington Street parking lot at the beach with no legal authority whatsoever, and in doing so limits access to the coastal zone. Both the city and county of Los Angeles have passed laws which violate access provisions of the California Coastal Act and Article 2.5, which requires fairness and due process of law. The Coastal Commission has been aware since November 26, 2007 of the circumstance and has not enforced the Coastal Act to date. See attachment. In accordance with the enforcement recommended by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration